Hi guys, I'm Daryl. I'm the founder of Break the Limits. We help advisors to break their limits so they can make more impact and income. For the last few years, we've been helping advisors to achieve their first MDRT, multiple MDRTs, or even COT as well. My firm belief is that when you win your inner game, that's where you have massive success in life. That's exactly the reason why I'm interviewing high-performing advisors to understand their inner game, the inner world, understand the challenges so that I can inspire you to get your unique breakthrough as well. With that being said, let's get started with today's episode. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Break the Limits podcast. Today I'm here with a special guest. He's Joel Tan, one of our clients, and I'm really excited to invite him here to share with you his journey, his insights of how he was able to get his first MDRT after being in this industry for 6 years. And I'm really proud of him, not because of the accolades, but rather the person that he become. With that being said, allow him to formally introduce himself to you guys.
So hi guys, my name is Joel. I've been in the business with Great Eastern for the last 6-7 years. So I joined right out of army. It's my first career. And yeah, it's been really exciting so far since then.
Okay, let's get started with the questions, right?
Sure.
So I just want to give the audience some context as well, like why I interview Joel, right? Is because I saw a lot of his transformation, a lot of shifts, right? That most advisors out there are 30-40K range, right? They crave and they yearn for such breakthrough. Really, a lot of them are probably hovering around this comfortable range, but yet they have not experienced such taste of transformation whereby they experience their first MDRT, the first Centurion, the first COT. And I want you to share light on that as well. How did you go from your highest FYC was maybe 40 plus to suddenly achieving MDRT and having that conviction to go to leadership, doubling MDRT and things like that? How?
I think the important thing about this shift, right? I think generally it was because of the person that I become that helped me to shift in terms of my production. When I say the person I become, it means that I guess I was more convicted in what I did. I believe in the value that I bring to my clients, and then that also translates to the way I speak to them.
Right. And before we share about the one or two significant aspects, right? Probably give the audience some insights, right? How were you back then, in the first few years of your earlier years in the business?
I think...
even before you joined our coaching program, right? How were you like as well?
So I think generally, right, how I was like before I joined the coaching program was I was very lost. Very lost. So I was like in a state whereby I believe as a person that starts out in this career, I see it like a business, right? So basically we are the only one that motivates ourselves at the end of the day. If today I don't feel like working, I can choose not to work at all.
True.
Yeah, I can say that I stay at home, just don't do anything. You know what I mean? But so it's very easy to work and also very easy not work. So that was where I was in that few years. It's like whenever I face a down, a rejection or something that I felt very affected by personally, not just work-wise, I will choose the easy way out.
Which is?
And say, don't work. Today just don't work. Just stay at home. Just take it easy. Just chill out. You know what I mean? Then and this kind of thing spirals, right? You don't work for 1 day, you don't work for 2 days, you work for 3 days. You're like, okay, never mind, one more day. Then I didn't know how to cope with these struggles that I faced, right? And these internal spirals that I went into. So it ended up me having very inconsistent production. Like some months a bit higher, because maybe I get out of the rut.
Yeah.
Then something hits me again. Then I don't work again. Yeah. So it's like few months in, few months out, few months in, few months out. So I always knew that that I could do sales because like when I was younger, do sales. But something inside of me just felt very unaligned with what I was doing and also how I felt inside, whether I was happy.
What do you mean by that?
Okay, so what I mean by that, right, technically is that even though I was getting like a decent income, right, I wasn't really happy with myself. And what I mean by I wasn't happy with myself is I was not growing within. I didn't feel myself becoming a more mature person emotionally and personally as a person. I didn't know how to grow myself, you know what I mean? So even though the income was okay, like it matched what people got outside, you know what I mean? But deep inside, I felt something that was really missing, empty. You know, just something that like whether I'm doing something that's aligned with my values. You know what I mean? That was the thing that kept me up at night. I questioned, and then that also made me go into escapism.
Let's elaborate and package that, right? So the audience can understand. What do you mean by am I doing something that's aligned to my values? Elaborate on that. What do you mean?
Okay, so basically, right, I think one of my values is authenticity. So I value being authentic to how I feel and what and having the freedom to say what I want to say. I think that's very important to me. But I always get the impression that as an advisor, right, you got to be a bit more PR. You got to say what
they want to hear.
What they want to hear. Or say you got to be professional in that sense.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And you can't really say what you
really
genuinely want to express to them.
And what was your fear for that?
That was my limiting.
What was your fear for that?
The fear that
if I say my truth, people won't buy, for example.
Yeah. So if I say my truth, right, people will just think that like people won't buy. People will think that maybe I'm too salesy, or people will think that I'm too aggressive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because I can be very strong in a sense.
Yeah.
The way I express myself. You know what I mean? So I felt that that in that sense I couldn't really speak my truth, and I felt
trapped.
I felt trapped, and I felt that I was very concerned about what people think of me. And that was something that held me back for the longest time.
For real. So if I can summarize for the audience to understand, right?
Yeah.
What he was facing was a lot of inconsistency.
Right.
Because I work when I feel like working. And then as a result of that, he fall into a rut.
Yeah.
Whereby he lost the momentum for a while. And he also held back by a lot of judgment. Right, from what prospects think, what friends think. That's why I don't dare to publicly share your truth.
Right.
And all of these things, share with the audience, right? How did that affect your productivity then, in terms of sales and revenue for your business?
Oh, it was up and down, man. It was really up and down. So some months it went a little bit higher, like maybe some months, because like basically, don't forget those months, right? I never work, right? That people still ask me for to meet up and everything like that. But then sometimes I postpone a little bit.
Right.
So everything pushed forward into that single month, then I get a little bit higher production. Then I get complacent.
Yes.
Then after
that's
that,
another problem.
That's another problem. Then I get a bit complacent, like, hey, maybe next month I don't work so hard.
Can rest a
so
bit.
these two things, right, coupled together, right, complacency plus emotional inconsistency, right, and feeling like I work according to my feelings.
Yes.
That caused me to
not break through.
Be the downfall for
understand. And let's be
Passion.
honest, whatever that he described so transparently and being so raw with us in this session here, right, is literally what majority of the advisors stuck at the 40K mark, right, faces. And that's why I really want him to share with us, and I appreciate your presence here.
Yeah.
So share with us, right, what were the one or two things that you have done, right, which was the most important or pivotal challenge that you kind of break through first that led to your breakthrough of like MDRT?
What was the most pivotal that led?
Yeah, correct. Out of so many different challenges, right? What was the one or two needle moving ones first?
So I think the main challenge, right, was that I think what I mentioned earlier, I didn't dare to speak my truth. I think that was the main thing that moved me. Because when I not speak my truth and I don't really get affected by what people think of me, right, I become more convicted in what I say. So people can feel it.
Yeah, was there some examples or some stories that you can share with the audience? Like how did you get that breakthrough?
So I think like one of the stories was when I think I was on a coaching call with Daryl. So and then I think I was doing roadshow previously at time, and I was very concerned about the fact that I would come off as very salesy. Right. So that was the limiting belief, right? What if I try to sell you a product means I'm salesy. But the truth is that, right, actually, right, if I reframe it into a different mindset, right, is that, do I really believe in what I'm selling? That's the first and foremost thing. Right? Do I believe that this thing that I'm bringing to this person or selling to this person or this person buying, right, is actually good and beneficial to the person? Right? If the person saves this amount of money every single month for X number of years, they get a big lump sum of money, does it benefit them? When this person buys this insurance, right, even though it's a promise, right, at the end of the day, if something happens to them, does the family benefit from it? Or do they benefit from it? And the answer is even though I'm younger in my career, right, this company, Great Eastern, right, has been around for at least the last like 100 years or so, right? I believe, and I heard from stories, right, and I borrow conviction, right, from people that have paid out death claims, critical illness claims, families that are impacted by these claims. And even for myself, right, because basically I came from a single parent family, right? So my dad died when I was very young, and he didn't have enough insurance when it was paid out. Because if that happened, right, and imagine my family today had $1 million, right? How different would life? Because my family only received like 100K when my dad passed away, and that was it. And I was like 7. My brother was like 5. My sister was like 4. So that personally impacted life, because my mom couldn't like take time off work and everything. You know what I mean? You couldn't take time off work to spend time with us, to groom us, to teach us values, because she was in survival mode. So when I really reflect on that, right, I believe that this thing called insurance is a promise that we buy, that I know the insurance company will pay out this amount of money. $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. I believe it benefits. So the question at the end of the day, when I come back to the roadshow part of things, right, I ask myself, this person pay this amount of money, $100 a month, $200 a month, $300 a month, $400 a month, maybe heck, $500 a month. It's maybe if a person earns like $3,000-$4,000 a month, it's maybe like 10-20% of their income, right? But at the end of the day, if I earn maybe 50% commission from that, right? I earn maybe $2,000 of commission, of $3,000, $4,000, right? Will it change my life more than their life when shit happens to them? Or will it change their life more? You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, maybe I earn this $2,000, $3,000. Hey, maybe I spend it within a month because I cover business expenses, I cover this and that, personal expenses. But that's all I earn for that first year. But when shit happens to them, they get the entire $1 to $2 million, which will entirely impact the entire family and the livelihood of the family and the future growth of their children also as well.
Yeah. Let's pause it right there. Let me unpackage what Joel just said. Whatever he shared just now was very powerful, because many advisors out there listening to this right now, right, probably feel a lot of shame when they want to sell something. The commission that they earn, they feel like, wow, shit, I earn for my friend. Wow, I don't feel deserving.
Exactly.
Wow, guilty, charge my clients so much premiums and everything.
Right.
But what Joel mentioned, right, it was a shift. He feel proud, not shame. He feel pride that literally exchange for that 2K commission, this fella get 2 million.
Right.
Like literally you can see the comparison. Right. He feel proud. I did a great job. I deserve the commission.
I think the add on to that, right, I believe that exchange of value, right, is higher on my side. I give you more value than you give me.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel proud. So the belief in the exchange of value is very important.
High five.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's one shift only that I noticed in him. That's why there's a lot that I want to unpackage in this session today. Thank you for sharing the details of things.
No worries.
And apart from that, right, the shift of conviction, the pride in your career. Because I know that one of the biggest challenges I still remember, he came to us 2 years ago, right? He said that, I'm very worried about how people see financial advisors, the stigma. And that affects me so much. And I cannot, tell people proudly I'm an advisor. And once you have this kind of shift internally, now you see more pride in the work that you do, lesser shame, right? Apart from that, what else shifted internally that led to your breakthrough, getting your MDRT?
Okay, so I think adding on to your part, right? The way I could tell people I'm a financial advisor, right? And why I'm convicted now is because, first of all, like what I mentioned earlier, I believe that the value I bring to them is a lot more than the value I receive. That's the first thing. And I think genuinely as a financial advisor, if we do our job well, we focus on building authentic relationships with clients, right? Actually, it's more than just financial advisor. It's being a friend to a client, right?
What do you mean?
A financial advisor is more than just someone that sells you products, right? At the end of the day, it's someone that listens to your problem. It's someone that can genuinely connect with you on a deep level. That maybe there are certain things that you couldn't have told a friend or a family member.
For
but
example?
You can tell maybe difficulties you face in finances, right? Maybe you have this credit card debt. But it's something that you can't tell your family, you know what I mean? Because of the shame. But you can tell your financial advisor. Think problems that you have with your spouse that you may not be able to tell your children or your spouse, but you can trust your financial advisor to tell you tell them this. Right? These are all very very confidential and very valued secrets that clients have. You know what I mean? And for me, that was where I saw my identity. I saw myself not as a financial advisor. Financial advisor is a byproduct, but I think more importantly, a friend to a client, a listening ear. a coach even sometimes. We take on so many roles for our clients that we only see that, we are just a financial advisor selling a product. But sometimes in the entire session, right, maybe the product comes later. Maybe the financial advice comes later. Maybe now is to lead them on their purpose in their life.
That be a coach.
Yeah, be a coach. Just help them find out, be a friend. Listen to them, you know what I mean? And really help them to unpackage their thoughts. And just be someone that they can share freely. And I think in this world, right, in this day and age, people find it very hard to share freely. Because everything is conditional in a sense. Everything is not very, they find it hard to build connections as they get, authentic connections as they get older, you know what I mean? And somehow as a financial advisor, if I see myself as that, right, why do I have to limit myself to just a financial advisor that meet you just to sell product?
Yeah.
I see more pride in that, you know what I mean? Because my skill set as a person grows.
Yeah.
And I can do more than just selling a product.
Yeah, beautiful. And I want to elaborate this. As he's sharing with so much passion and enthusiasm right now, right? I'm feeling so much pride. Because 2 years ago when I met Joel, right, he will always tell me, say, bro, today if I never close, I waste time. Let's be honest, right? That was the last time you. How did you transition from that version to this version today, whereby you're like, actually the first meeting is really to meet people, make friends, serve. And the fact that you describe so enthusiastically, right, really make me feel proud. How do you do that? Some advisors out there struggling with this.
I think importantly, right, if this is going to be a career that I'm going to do for long, meaning for maybe even the rest of my life, right? Of course, I don't know what happened along the way. Maybe something happens along the way. Life happens, or I get CI or touch wood.
Yeah, touch wood.
I may not continue the career for long. But if I'm going to see myself, everything goes well, I'm going to do this career for long, I think it's important to enjoy the career. And for me, enjoying the career doesn't mean selling a product. You know what I mean? Just selling a product. I think enjoying the career means building connections with people, fulfilling connections, connect on the deep level, find out what interests them, and then seeing how our advice, right, not just product, but our advice as a person to them changes their life and makes them have that light bulb moment.
But it was not so overnight, that your shift, your transformation. How was that transition for you? Because I can imagine, right?
Okay.
Yeah, if you tell people that, then you don't say, I also know, but how can I don't care my KPI? How can I don't care my sales target? Cannot be what? What actionable step can you give it to them? So they'll be like, oh yeah, maybe I can try tomorrow. What are some actionable steps that you done for yourself or you learn somewhere? Like whatever that is.
Actionable steps.
Yeah. Like how you were so achievement driven last time, right?
Yeah.
Then you're like, I want to maximize my time. If I go there, then don't close that, maybe waste my time. That was the 2-3 years ago version of you. Then suddenly now you're like, I want to make friends first. What was some 1 or 2 steps that you can, advise the audience?
Wow, that's a good question.
Yeah, you reflect.
Because that makes me think. I think honestly speaking, I after being okay, so first of all, I didn't know how to grow myself. That's the first thing foremost, right? So I didn't know what trajectory my growth, what steps I could take. But I think what got me excited was that as I unpackaged or learned a few tools in this as a person, maybe it could be emotional mastery, it could be just being more open to speaking my truth, that kind of thing, right? All these shifts, right, actually made me feel very more fulfilled as a person. And all these actually made me happy. This was something that I was looking for the last 4.
But you don't know how to identify it.
I don't know how to identify, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was very unfulfilled. But then all this made me feel alive. So of course, what happened is that then I will want to seek more of this.
Yeah.
Because this feeling of aliveness and this feeling of freedom, right, within, right, is something that money cannot buy.
Yeah.
Right. But it's something that excites me because I'm young, I want to grow, and I feel that the only way to grow sustainably is to be happy and fulfilled.
True.
While making a decent amount of money.
Yes.
Right. You don't have to make like $10 million a year, but for me, having the fulfillment and a byproduct, the money comes because of that.
Yes.
No matter how much it is, I will accept, you know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah, but I think one of the shifts was that I felt very shameful when I met people. Then I always had an agenda to sell something, that kind of thing.
Yes, correct.
And I didn't feel good inside.
Yep.
So I asked myself, let's just try. You know what I mean? Let's just try and break their belief. Why not if I go today, right, and I don't sell you anything, just go and talk about what drives you.
Yeah.
What excites you as a person. Just go and be curious about the person. You know what I mean? Just be curious and see what comes out of it. You know what I mean? So I challenge my own beliefs. I've tried to prove myself wrong.
I remember that phase of your career.
I should just prove myself wrong. You know, I just try out. At the most 1, 2 appointments, 3 appointments, I don't get anything.
Yep.
But it has to be a decent sample size.
Of course.
Yeah, we have to be reasonable. Cannot be one person, we meet already, I don't never close anything. Don't work already.
Yeah, correct.
But I think why not try for like five appointments, or 10 appointments. Let's see what comes out of it.
So after you tried, what happened?
So after I tried, right, I discovered that clients were more open to sharing. Open to sharing what concerns they have. Because sometimes when we go into the meeting, we always have an idea of, okay, what product am I going to recommend?
Yeah.
So you really like find ways
Presets
to
connect the dots.
Target in the product.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the truth is that like sometimes at the end of the day, right, the client might not need a product.
Correct.
All they need is a listening ear. And what the listening ear does, right, to coach them, right, is the trust it builds. And trust is a currency, right, that eventually will get business.
Agree.
Either through referrals or whatsoever.
Yep.
So, but trust is something that is so invaluable that if you sell a product today, right, doesn't mean the client trusts you more. Right, I mean, so the question I want to ask myself is that longevity of business is important, but also at the same time having a fulfillment in the business. And how do I balance that is when I go to a meeting, I actually enjoy my time with the client.
Yep.
What enjoying my time with a client means actually listening to a client, really understanding.
Be curious.
Be curious, yeah. Just be curious, you know, like just really get to know the person as a person. And then somehow or another, when you are very curious, right, and they feel that you're listening more intently and you're present with them, right?
You.
They just share.
Yeah.
And they trust you, you know what I mean? They trust you even more. And that makes me
authentic.
Makes me authentic, you know what I mean? I'm just being myself with them. If you like me, you like me. You don't like me, you don't like me.
Let me. If you want to continue first.
No. But I think the intention where we come from, the why is very important. The why.
I think what I noticed in Joel, right, when I was coaching him, right, was the fact that initially he was actually all this while he really is a high achiever. He really want to perform. He want to shine. He want to get the recognition of doing well in the career.
Right.
At the same time, he don't want to come off as someone who is transactional, pushy, salesy.
Yeah.
It was a very big conflict because when I highlight this aspect of Joel for you to see, right, which he so transparently and generously share with us his past, right, I want you, audience watching this right now, to see whether does that resonate with you, because a lot of them actually go through the same struggles.
Yeah.
A lot of them, because the industry is, train you guys to hit KPIs and all of these things. But when he really let go of the fact that, okay, if I just really focus on being me first, let go of the achieving.
Agree.
I really feel more satisfied. I feel more fulfilled. And I do things right way. Essentially, the money, the breakthrough all come to me.
Being me is the key word,
Yeah.
Being me.
You know, I coached him 2 years. I saw his transformation, his smile, his pride, his happiness, his joy.
Right.
10x. Right.
10x.
As a result of that, his income comes. So I think that's the message to the audience watching this right now, right?
Yep.
Watch the way he described his occupation. Challenge yourself. Do you feel that kind of sense of pride, that kind of joy that you can see in him? If the answer is yes, I'm very happy for you. If no, soul searching. Time to start. Ask yourself, why am I not as proud?
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that you can give them.
Go and talk to Daryl.
I mean, talking to me aside, that's a separate concern, right?
Yes.
I just want to dissect a lot of things like what you experience, what you go through. And another topic to talk on is that you mentioned this word emotion mastery twice already. In the first part, you mentioned emotion inconsistent. The second part, you say, I got more emotion mastery. Share with the audience, what do they mean? What do you mean by that? Some of them do not understand what is this thing.
Okay, so emotion mastery. I think to be honest, right, I thought I was the only person in my family or in my social circle. I didn't know about this thing called emotion mastery.
Yeah.
Because nobody ever talks about emotion in Singapore. Everybody talks about how to grow my career, how to get more money, how to travel. But nobody actually talks about emotions, or like how you actually build your emotions or manage your emotions. I would even dare say that people that are earning a lot of money, they may not even know how to handle their emotions.
They can handle finance, but not emotions maybe.
But you talk to them about emotions, they're like, how?
Yeah, agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so how do you go about doing that?
Okay, so I think, rewind, right? So before the breakthrough year, I told you that I had a lot of inconsistencies in my career. I think the main reason was that I'm feeling a lot of shame.
Yep.
a lot of overwhelms and shame, and a lot of like also guilt also. You know what I mean? So all these packaged together, right, made me feel like I don't work lah. Don't feel like working. You know what I mean? I think there's a lot of times some this career guilt because sometimes like meet the client means must sell something.
Yes.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Then overwhelm, wow, got so many things to do. Where do I begin? That kind of thing. And also life that happens, you know, have to juggle everything, then you just feel overwhelmed.
True.
And then shame because maybe I go to the appointment, thereafter I think it also links to, it's actually shame and guilt is kind of linked together.
Correct.
In that sense. So I think the breakthrough came when I was talking to Daryl and he helped me to kind of identify these certain emotions. Because I feel that there are some emotions that most people feel, right, they are very consistent in terms of these emotions. That means you always feel these emotions. And these emotions are the tumbling block to our success. So most people got this kind of these 3 or 4 emotions, right, that will to be honest, fuck them up lah.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
So that was what fucked me up. That was my stumbling block for me. So when I identify all these 3 or 4 emotions, right, I could learn to better manage them in a sense whereby I learned the process of, and a very actionable way of how I could process my emotions, which is to first of all identify my emotion, and then to sit with the emotions and feel the emotions, and then let the emotions pass in a sense. And I found that worked very, very well, especially when I was doing calling, right? Then you feel like very, very you feel a fear of rejection, or you feel very reluctant. You know what I mean? So all these and when the prospect rejects you, right, you feel rejected.
Yeah. You
feel like shit, did I do something wrong? Or bloody hell, that kind of thing. So all these, right, I can process the emotion on the spot and go back and call again.
Yeah.
After I feel the emotion already, right?
Okay, don't call.
Don't call already. That's it for the day. Then you find or you just go to your phone and start scrolling to escape from the emotion or from doing the activity, because that gave me the emotion.
Yes.
So I think the entire process really helped in a sense whereby I was more consistent in my production for the year.
Yeah, I just want to elaborate on that. Right?
Yeah.
So just now he was mentioning that couple of emotions that keep calling back. Yeah. This one not Google find one. I anyhow create this.
Yeah, correct.
Right, it's called emotional home, like the place where you go home, right? Because very often that's the thing that you're familiar with. So for him, he always feel a lot of guilt, a lot of shame. This is what his emotional homes are. Sure. For me, it's always I don't like being trapped, stuck, suffocated. That's like, unappreciated, all of these feelings. Right. For the audience watching this, there are certain emotions that you are very familiar to. These are your emotional home. And what he mentioned, you need to be very clear about it. Number 1, identify which are those things. Number 2, get better tools so you can better manage it. Yes. Instead of letting it cripple you and then it affects your productivity. I think that's what he really honed that really well in the last, I think it was the first year preparing you to get the breakthrough in the second year. Yeah. I remember very clearly. And share with us as well. Just now he mentioned a very powerful point, right? Previously, whenever I face rejections or emotions, I'll just say, fuck it. Now I can process it and then I bounce on and do it. Yeah. Share with us, what are some narratives, right? Yeah. The before and after sounds like. Because the before is, I don't do it, fuck it, right? So now, if today you call someone and the person rejects you, what do you usually say to yourself then? Share with them the real scenes. How did that look like?
So if let's say I were to call somebody, a person rejects me, right?
Yeah. What kind of narrative in your head now?
What kind of narratives are?
Yeah. That you don't feel as much rejection, you still can call.
Okay. Let me have a thinker. Because in that process, I will just, the belief is really part of me. So I will just switch out and then call another person. Because I believe I think because I believe the self-worth, right, in terms of the value that I give them, right, is a lot higher already. So you don't want, right, means you're lost.
Okay.
You don't want means you're lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe that's the belief.
Yes, correct. That's the belief.
That's the belief. You don't want means you're lost.
Okay. But do you allow yourself to feel that rejection?
Yeah. Happens? So you don't want means you're lost. So then after that, I will feel the rejection also as well. I will I feel, of course, rejected. I'll feel like even unappreciated. Yep. Yeah, unappreciated. Then I'll feel the emotion. But because for me, right, I think the emotional threshold become a lot higher. So now they hit me with one
last
rejection,
time level 1.
Level 1. Then now they hit me with one, it's like, okay, I can still tahan. Yeah. I might hit a point where I don't feel like calling. Yeah. So when I hit that point where I don't feel like calling, right, which is the bottle is already full. Full of this unappreciated and whatever, that kind of thing. When the bottle is full already, right, then I will process. Understand. Yeah.
Okay, I like that analogy. More. So last time maybe 3 rejection. Then you just call it quits. Yeah. Now can endure maybe 30, 10, whatever that is. Correct. Okay, understand. So there's better tolerance. and better understanding of your own emotions.
I think the belief also helps to increase your tolerance for emotion.
Agree.
Yeah.
So what he mentioned just now, right, was not just about emotion mastery, it was about breaking beliefs. That like he really believed that he valued at people more than what he received from them. As a result of that, you reject me is your loss.
It's your loss.
Yeah, so that's how he reframed the idea of rejection.
Yeah.
That reduces rejection and underappreciation. That's beautiful. And another thing that you mentioned as well, right, was you mentioned just now judgment in the business. You also mentioned inconsistency. You mentioned losing momentum, stuck in a rut. Share with us as well, because this stuck in a rut situation, right? I think a lot of advisors face it. It's really, really common for advisors, right? Today I don't work, I don't work.
Yeah.
After 1 week,
Yeah.
after 3 weeks, then they say, hey, shit, FYC this one really low as fuck.
Okay.
How do you overcome that?
Okay, so I think how I overcome that, right, was okay, so in Daryl's course, right, there's something called driving forces. And driving forces is something very powerful. It's something that makes you feel alive and drives you as a person in terms of your in terms of daily activities, your daily actions. So Daryl helped me to identify my driving forces.
And
so for me, I'm very EV driven.
Yeah,
so
what's EV?
EV means external validation, right?
Yeah.
So when someone validates me and someone appreciates the work I do, I feel appreciated.
Yep.
I feel like looked up to, right?
Yep.
It drives me to do that.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I'm also very freedom driven. So I like the ability to do what I like.
Yep.
At any point of time. You know what I mean? I don't like to feel trapped. I like to explore. I like to express myself very freely.
Yep.
So for me, that's freedom.
Correct.
Then third but not least, last but not least, but is I'm very peace driven. So I like to generally be in a state whereby I can feel very peaceful. Nothing disturb me. Don't fuck with my peace. Kind of thing. You know, I feel very zen. Yeah. I just need some time alone. That kind of thing. But I feel that because that counters my overwhelm.
Correct.
So when I feel overwhelmed, I know I need peace already.
Very good.
So I identify already. So I just need to walk in the park. And the question is like, so when I identify all these top three driving forces, right? I just need to do activities that are linked to the driving forces. So I need to say, if as I said, I'm very freedom driven, right? I've really found certain activities that I do like to do that helps me to recharge myself in terms of feeling more free. Right? Feeling more free. The keyword is feeling more free. So like for example, I go surfing, or when I feel trapped, I go surfing, or I go and I do whatever I like. You know what I mean? I go JV, or I do whatever I like, you know, like just for that day. Just take like that entire day off, do whatever I feel like doing. Because right, I think most of the time, right, when we are working, we do what we ought to do, not what we want to do. Yeah. And when that happens, we feel overwhelmed. Yeah. But when you do something that you like to do, right, you don't feel overwhelmed. Correct. Right. Yeah. It's like it's just very natural. As a matter of fact, you feel even more recharged. True. So for me to recharge myself, I just do things that I want to do or feel like doing. Just go with the flow. You know what I mean? And that also means that I'm very aware of what internally I feel like doing. And then when I feel like what's that word? When I feel that I need peace, for example, then I'll just go take a walk in the park. So what drives me is I take a walk in the park. I just sit down alone by myself in nature. I get recharged. And just process my thoughts. You know what I mean? Just think about my thoughts. That helps me to be more to get out of the rut. Because I know what recharges me. Yes. I think when we're in the rut, it's because we don't know what to do. Then we just keep spiraling because the thoughts keep negatively compounding. And then we can't actually collect our thoughts because everything all comes at once. Correct. Yeah. So for me, it's like being able to know which kind of environments I need to be in to help me be in a better state, to process those thoughts, and to recollect myself again. Help me to get back faster. Well said. Yeah. So I want to elaborate on whatever Joel mentioned. It is powerful. Yeah. We have this concept that we share in class as well. It's called shadow self. Yeah. Right. It's not created by me. Carl Jung, the psychiatrist, said that. So in our own coaching in our course, right, we mentioned this concept called driving forces. So what happens is that when you're in your driving forces, you use your driving forces to your advantage, then you're entering your super self. Yeah. When you're in flow state, you're powerful, closing cases, you're proud, right? But on the flip side, when the driving forces control you, like how he was overwhelmed, then obviously his peace is controlling him. Yeah. He is unappreciated, disrespected. Yeah. Then his external validation, you're controlling him. Yes. Yeah. He was suffocating, going to meetings that he don't enjoy going to. Yeah. He felt trapped.
So you see all of these signs are signs that his driving forces are not being met, not being fed. As a result of that, he was stuck in a rut. He don't want to go to work. So, but on the flip side, like what Joel described just now, if he go to the park, he go for maybe 3 appointments here, surfing at night, or whatever. Yeah, he says shock. So now he's excited to go for appointments. I think this is that one fundamental thing that the industry, actually not many people know about this. And that's why I'm so purposeful or so passionate running this kind of podcasts and advertisements, right? To share with people that there are such concepts existing.
Yeah.
And he is a walking testament that it works.
Yeah.
Right? Continue, share.
Yeah, so actually, as a matter of fact, right, sometimes people think like, like I feel very tired, right? Or actually, tired is a feeling, but there could be some other emotions that could cause this tiredness. Or you feel very drained, you know what I mean?
Agree.
So sometimes, I always think like, tired, right? Or you feel very drained, right? Just sleep it off. But actually, as a matter of fact, you wake up, you don't feel recharged. Because it's an emotional tiredness.
Yes.
So we need to do activities to address. Physical tiredness, we use sleep to address it. But emotional tiredness, we need to use driving forces to address it.
Oh, well said.
Yeah.
I like that.
Correct.
Yeah, because some people cannot sleep it off. You sleep it off, you wake up, you still feel tired and drained, right?
I try to sleep it off. So that's what I did, right? When you're stuck in the rut, right? You just sleep, right? Because you don't feel like doing anything.
Yes.
But you wake up, you still feel the same.
Yeah, still the
you are
same.
deceiving yourself that you are recharged. But actually, truth is not.
Yeah,
you don't have the motivation inside to work.
Well said. I think that's a very good point.
Yeah.
Because a lot of advisors ask them, what do you do if you're not prospecting? Sleep. Hey, nothing changed. Nothing changed. Still stay at home, but managers don't know. Right? So I think if you hear this podcast until this part here, it's really a wake-up call to ask yourself, are you currently putting yourself in the right state, right? Like what Joel mentioned, the word state, that push you to thrive, or are you just, cruising by to survive? Very important point, really. Right? And another question I want to ask you, let's go off, right? Off the typical script. I want to ask you, what was one challenge that you really faced, right, on your journey towards MDRT that caught you off guard, actually? Was there any challenge, that really caught you off guard?
Okay, let me get some time.
Slowly think about it. Yeah. Like, because as we know, right, the more you prospect, the more you face rejections, disappointments, a lot of challenges, a lot of rejections, objections.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely that's one as well.
Yeah.
A lot more, for example, expenses that you need to manage, stress management as well. Anxiety, whether can I hit my goals, don't hit my goals. Fear of failure. If I tell my friends or my colleagues I'm going to hit MDRT, but I don't hit how, I don't know. What are some challenges that was the most prominent one, right? That you faced during your journey towards MDRT?
What are some of the challenges?
Yeah, most prominent that you still can recall.
Well, let me think. Because the year just passed by so fast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know.
It's a day-to-day challenge that I think I face every day.
What's the highlight?
The highlight?
Yeah. Day-to-day challenge. Probably you can just name a few.
I think one of it was let me think.
Yeah, slowly think.
The entire year just passed by so fast. I sometimes I just reflect on what went well for the year, but I think one of the challenges that or one of the main challenges that I faced, right, was okay, I still face the same challenges, of course, the rut and everything, but now it's way faster to get out.
Yep.
So that helped me to get my MDRT. I think I felt a very like I felt a fear that if I don't hit my goal. I think that was one of the
share with us, where did that fear came from? Like what if you did not hit a goal, right? Where did that fear came from?
Where did that fear come from?
Was it comparison to others in the industry or like?
Yeah, it's like I think for me, right, it's like, wow, you so many years already but never hit your MDRT. I think that was like one of the fears that I had. So if this year is either make it or break it year. Yeah. Then after that I also to boost my EV, right, I went around telling people like, okay, that was like shit, if I don't hit
you feel very embarrassing.
Yeah. So that pushed me.
Yeah.
Although it's not a very, like, I wouldn't say it's a very healthy way to go about it, you know what I mean? But I think that is what drove my EV. So I played according to my driving forces also.
Yeah, that's right. That's the right way to do it. And in fact, guys, he managed to clear it by August now. So that's a breakthrough for him.
Yeah, and unexpectedly. Yeah, I think it's a process of the funny thing is that halfway through the year, right, I was somewhere along, like, okay, halfway through the year, right? Always June, right? I always face this rut. And I don't know why. It's like I'm a first quarter person, so I chiong for 3 months. Then after June, right, I'll face this rut. Where I just don't feel like doing it.
Yeah.
Right? It's complacency, I know. So I think one of the bigger challenges was complacency. Yes. So that was one of the main challenges, complacency. Yeah. Because I feel like when things are doing well, right?
I can chill.
Chill already,
Yeah.
June, no need work already.
Yeah.
Just take it easy, you know what I mean? So that was really, I think, one of the biggest challenges for me, complacency. And I think what really overcome me for that was I keep telling people already that I got to hit that goal. But also at the same time, right, I really sat down, right, and planned for myself. What's my 5-year vision, 10-year vision for myself? What's my end goal for myself? A goal bigger than this year, You know what I mean? That's very important to have. Yes. Because eventually when you hit your goal, right, then what's next?
Correct.
What's next? So I think, and it must be something that you feel so. It cannot be just something that you plan, right? Or because like you have to plan. It must be something that emotionally you feel for. Right. The 5-year, 10-year plan. Like you really die want to hit this goal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you don't hit, right, you will feel very unfair, you will feel very, very disappointed, all these kind of feelings, you know. So this must be a goal, something you really want. So that's what I did in the half of the year, right, when I faced the rut. I was like, what's my 5-year plan?
Yeah.
10-year plan. Sit down, right? Right. What 5-year plan? Put it on the wall.
Very well.
Every day look at it, and then it must drive you. Even till today, right? If I look at that goal, right, then it is something that must drive you as a person. Must make you feel something inside. Must make you feel passionate about your purpose, and that's why I think, right, I'm very passionate about helping clients find their purpose as well in their life, right? Because I think why do we have to work and then feel dead inside, right? But why can't we work and feel alive inside, knowing that one day we will eventually hit this purpose that we envision for ourselves.
Well said.
And we are moving one step closer each day towards that.
That's beautiful. Yeah. In fact, I'm smiling so proudly and brightly as he was sharing so much because everything he said, literally, I respect him a lot, because he can remember everything that we share as well. Like when you create a vision, you need to have emotion. I always share this to him.
Yes.
Vision without emotion always lead to inaction. GG.
Yeah, GG.
So when he's saying that, I was like, wow, proud of him. 2 years training, everything is in his mind, you see. And he's living that out. I think it's beautiful. That he's really sharing so clearly. He said that why my clients out there working must feel dead inside. Guys, if you heard this whole story from him, that was his own journey as well. He's 5 years in, dead inside. So every one of us watching this all have a very strong purpose. It's just whether have we been in touch with ourselves. The truth lies within us. He literally spent 2 years doing a lot of inner work. He worked on his emotions. He worked on his why, his purpose. He worked on his insecurities about the judgment from outside.
Right.
As a result of that, he's now glowing and shining authentically, which is what he stands for, authenticity. You know, funny enough, yesterday there was a friend of mine, he was asking me this question. Why people don't dare to be authentic? You know, he was asking me this question.
Right.
Since, don't mind me sharing this.
No, sure, go ahead.
Because you stand for authenticity.
Yes.
I think the truth is that everybody wants to be authentic.
Right.
But the fact that is that they don't think they are the best character to be authentic enough to show people the real them. So I give you an example. If today themselves, they really authentic, they're evil, They're not nice. They condemn people, judge people. Do you dare to be authentic in that version? No. Okay. So which means that they themselves is not the upgraded version.
The inside never match the outside.
Inside never match outside. So that is the another truth that I saw in him. Previously, he really want to sell. He want to hit KPI. Can he be very authentic in that version? Probably not. He spent a lot of time building himself to really go and serve, not sell. He go out there and tell people that don't live a career that is dead inside. I am someone that you can look up to. I change myself. I can inspire you to change your career or something. Then now he can be truly authentic. Authenticity is the end game. The being is the first game, the first part of the game. If you cannot be that improved version, there's nothing to be authentic for.
Nothing to be authentic
right?
for.
If I'm a criminal that I authentically tell you I murdered 3 people today, cannot be. Don't make sense. Right? So on that note, I want to ask you one question as well. What are some exciting, now that you finish your MDRT, you kind of hit the goal, right? Apart from, consistent MDRT, what is something exciting that you're working towards?
Okay, so I think one of it is generally to go into recruitment because I felt that in of course this entire 1 to 2 years, right, and of course the entire almost 1 year being in Darryl's program, right, I learned a lot and changed myself as a person. And I feel that there's so many other people that also are in the industry that also face this issue that I faced before. misaligned with their within, their outside don't match their inside, facing the rut, don't know how to get out of it. You know what I mean? I think these are very generally amazing tools in life, not just for the business, right? That can make us more fulfilled as a person. I feel that if you're earning the money but you're not fulfilled, what's the point of it all?
Agreed.
Yeah, and I feel that I really want to help more people to find this best version of themselves, or to find this authentic version of themselves that I wasn't before. And I felt so afraid to speak my truth. I felt so afraid to be authentic. You know what I mean? But I want people to be able to find this version of themselves where they feel so aligned with who they are inside.
Yeah.
And this for me gives me the greatest contentment, gives me the greatest fulfillment and joy. That after I found this authentic version of myself, I want to help others find this authentic version.
Be it whether it's your team members, your clients. Even.
Right. So I think going to recruitment is one way that I can pass this knowledge. This is all very good information that I pass down. To teach other people to not only be happy and earn a decent amount of money, because money is important at the end of the day, but also to be fulfilled at the end of the day. So both can come together. You don't have to trade either one.
Yep.
For anything. You know what I mean? And also at the same time, with clients, right? I think what I'm working on is helping clients find their true purpose in life. So I'm going for like maybe accreditations as a life coach and whatnot, that kind of thing. Is to really help clients find what drives them in their life, how to make them feel authentic by not just buy a plan for the sake of it, you know what I mean? But doing something and doing something with me in terms of a plan or whatever, that kind of thing, but that suits to their life goals and something that makes them feel authentic as a person, because there's something that I didn't have, I want to give to others.
Well said.
Yeah, and so this is something that I'm working on. After I work on myself, to also work on others.
And share with us in details, right? Who are the kind of guys that you enjoy working with and that you want to, gather into your team? Describe clearly. So some of the audience maybe like they resonate with you, your story. They say, you know what, I want to join you. Who are these people that you like to serve?
So I think generally, people that are looking for a way out in terms of their life. Like they want to find this breakthrough in their life. They want to find this thing that makes them feel alive in their life, but they don't know how to go about it. They don't know what direction to go towards. Because that was me. I didn't know how to find this feeling inside of me. I felt dead inside. You know what I mean? I was earning a decent income, but I was dead inside. But yet I was hungry to grow.
Yep.
I was hungry to grow, but I didn't know how to go, where to go. So I'm looking for people that are hungry to grow. I know people that are just very content with where they are, that kind of thing. I'm looking for people that are hungry to go but don't know where to go. Or there's nowhere around them right now they can find anybody that can help them. I'm looking for these kind of people that feel dead inside, that want to feel alive inside, want to feel this fulfillment inside, want to be authentic to themselves without apology. So these are the people that I'm looking for in this career, and that if they want to join me, please let's have a coffee session. It doesn't mean that we meet means must join, but it's only if we align.
Yep.
And I feel that I can help you, then we see how we can work together.
Well said, and allow me to chime in because after coaching him for 2 years, right? I'll share some insights about Joel so that you can have more clarity about who he is as a person.
Sure.
I think if you're someone that stands for camaraderie, loyalty, authenticity, if you're someone that wants direct transparency, he stands for that 100%. So he don't sugarcoat his words. If you are someone who seek growth, right, constantly stretching yourself, breaking limits, he's a perfect fit for you as well. And I think that with that kind of core values that you stand for, I think that's what you can see in him as well. So with that being said, we come to the end of this podcast. I want to ask one last question. If the audience like the whole podcast, where can they find you at?
You can just follow me on Instagram.
What would they be?
JOELATWL.
Okay.
Yeah.
One more time so that they can hear again.
JOELATWL.
Fantastic. With that being said, thank you for coming on this podcast.
Bro. Thank you.
Right. Thank you.
All right. That's all?
Yeah, that's all.